Hello everyone, Luke here, and welcome to a new segment on my channel called An Otaku's Introduction. Now, as I said in my room tour, this was a video series that I was planning on doing, and we'll see where it actually goes. And like I said in the sit and talk video, these videos along with sit and talk won't be overly long. I'm looking at around, I did say for the sit and talk video like 10-15 minutes max, but then it might go up to 20 minutes, so 20 minutes max on these videos, but yeah, they'll be relatively short videos, especially these ones, because they're just about introductions to series. Now, when I say an otaku's introduction, that doesn't just mean anime and manga. It can mean like British shows for anyone who's in America who's unfamiliar with British shows, or it can even include movies as well. Basically, movies that I recommend. Basically, anything I recommend. But for today, we're going to be talking about one particular series, and that series is There's a Demon Lord on the Floor. Now, with this series, I basically picked it up on a whim at one point. Had no idea what it was about, and once I read the first volume, I was immediately hooked. And it's one of the series that I'm like hoping at some point gets an anime adaptation. Now, for this video, I'm basically just going to go through the initial premise of the series and talk about a couple of the characters in the actual series itself, and then I'm going to be doing a follow-up video called sit and talk video, where basically I'll go through one particular aspect of the series that I like above all others, and it'll be basically one of the characters. But for now, basically the way this manga goes, now this manga is cliche. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to put that out to you guys, so if you don't like cliche stories, this won't be the series for you. But if you don't mind cliche stories, then maybe you actually like this. And the reason why I like it so much is because it just embraces the cliche, and it knows it's a cliche, so it just has the most fun with it. And that's another thing that I want to say about the series that makes me enjoy it so much. It's fun to read. It's fun to read about these characters. The comic timing on this series is hilarious, and I just love the different interactions, how different each character feels. Now, when I say that this series is cliche, I mean there have been other series that have done a similar premise like it. Like, if you've ever seen The Devil is a Part-Timer, or if you've ever seen or read I Couldn't Be a Hero So I Reluctantly Got a Job, this manga will seem incredibly familiar to you, because basically what it's about is, this is what it says on the back here of the first volume. Welcome to Humming Diner. I'm Irumu Koichi. I work here. Yes, business is okay, but then this girl shows up who wants a job, and the girl in question is the Demon Lord, Amon Patricia, ruler of the underworld. Oh my god, she just won't show up about how she's some demon lord, and when she gets hungry, things go a little bit nuts, and that is a complete understatement with this. So yeah, basically it's set in this diner, and it has these demons that have basically had their world taken over, so they're like coming to the human world to get jobs. So like I said, it's similar to The Devil is Part-Time, and it's similar to I Couldn't Become a Hero, so I Reluctantly Got a Job, in that sense, where you have creatures that are normally perceived as evil coming and working in more humble slice-of-life jobs, and comedy ensues. So now I'll just go through a few of the characters in general and what they're like. So you have the main character who's Imuro Koichi, who's basically like he's the cook of the diner, and he starts off the series basically interviewing the demon girl, and he's like, oh my god, how nutty can this girl actually be? She can't actually be serious about actually being this demon lord. And it turns out that the demon lord named Amnon Patricia is basically a lolly. Basically a lolly. But as you know, with these cliches goes, the lollies usually have some sort of transformation where they become a big busty woman, and sure enough, she becomes a big busty woman. Yeah. Now, basically, the way she does become a big busty woman, I can't believe I've said that 3 times in the same sentence, is she has like some sort of like ability when she's full. That's when she gets her true power back. So like when she's full of food, that's when she gets her true power back, and when she becomes hungry, she reverts back to her lolly form. And the way normally in the series that she actually gets her big busty form. Like basically her true form is by Koichi's cooking, and she pursues it as like a heavenly fixture, a divine cuisine, even though it's just as basic as a traditional hamburger. Now, some of the characters of note to come in the first volume is this girl right here, who goes by the name of Igarashi Mutsu, who's basically a lot of the hype jokes because she's just as small as Amon when she's in her lolly form. She's just as small as her, so she's the butt of her end of a lot of jokes, and she's always like, stop making jokes about my height, stop making jokes about my height. And another character of note to put here is Nanaku, who's basically a demon in the same category as Amon, but the difference with her is that she's a mushroom demon. And I don't mean that figuratively, no. She literally has a giant mushroom on her back. So, and she's more on the softer side in the sense that she doesn't really talk as much, and she tries to act big, but she's kind of like a weakling demon. And another character of note here is, if I can actually get to it, where is she? Is the boss here, like the manager of the diner, who's basically one of those characters who's like, yeah, they're crazy, they're wacky, but we're gonna hire them anyway, and she's indifferent to everything. Like basically her reaction to everything is just smile and nod, and yeah, she has her moments, but at the same time she's kind of like the blandest of all the characters, if I'm being honest. And the last point of character that I want to I've just gotta say this part here. In the second chapter, when Amnon is officially hired, she's like, welcome to our feast and blood and flesh. May I take your order? And then you have this old lady who's there. It's just like, helping out, such a nice little girl. Well then, I'm ready when you are. So like, she's like, she tries to make on this big spectacle, and this old lady there is like, oh, that's nice, you're a little girl, you're helping out here, how nice. But yeah, the last character that I want to talk about is this character right here, this armoured knight person. And basically, if you can tell from what I've said here, she's a girl. That's basically what I'm going to say, and she is my favourite character in the series, and I'm going to be saving quite a bit about her from when I do the sit and talk video. But basically, she is every cliche rolled into one. That's basically what I'm going to say. She's a tsundere, she's very shy, and she doesn't know exactly how to interact with men, because she's come from a tribe of women, so like there's not been many men in her life, and her interactions with Koichi are some of the highlights in the series for me. But I will say, like I said, the reason why I like this series is just the interactions with the characters. They're just so hilarious and everything. So the way the series actually starts off as well is that Amon gets hired. It turns out that she's actually living under the floor of the actual diner itself, and then she stops a biker from assaulting Koichi, and then that's when he actually is like, holy shit, she wasn't actually kidding. But at the same time, just weirdos keep coming into the diner more and more, and there are more characters in the series, but I'm not going to go into them. Basically, like I said, I just wanted to do like these quick little videos, little introductions to these series, and what I personally recommend. And I recommend picking this up because you can get the entire series on Amazon. The only thing that's a bit disappointing is that the series, I don't know if it's on hiatus or anything, but yeah, we only have 7 volumes out, and volume 8 is coming out in September, which has taken a year to come out. That's the only downside I would say to this manga. But if you can pick it up, I highly recommend it. It's just a general slice of life comedy series, has some great character interactions, and it's just a blast to read, and seeing all these different personalities clash with each other, how different characters interact with each other. Like the Arbor Knight's interactions with Koichi is different from her interactions with Amnon, which if you read the series you'll probably know all about that, and just the way she develops over the series, of how much she actually grows in confidence over the series. But I'm not gonna get into major details. I'm going to be talking about that when I do her video in the sit and talk segment. But yeah, There's a Demon Lord on the Floor. Highly recommend it. Recommend you checking it out. And also, as well, it's one of the series that I've recommended to David to read on a Twitch stream, David from Control Chaos. So when he gets around to that, hopefully he will enjoy the series just as much as I've enjoyed it and be able to go out and pick it up himself if he can. But yeah, there's a Demon Lord on the Floor. There's 7 volumes out. There's 7 volumes out at the moment, and like I said, it is a cliche series. Not gonna deny that, but like I said, what I love about it is just the fact that it knows it's a cliched series and it just has the most fun with it. Like, okay, we know these characters have been done before, but just how absurd can we take them to the nth degree, and to have a character that just basically encompasses all the cliches of various characters like tsundere, bit of yandere, shy girl as well. Like literally, one more thing I'll say about the Armor Girl is that she has this big passionate speech of how being brave and strong and everything, and she goes out onto the diner. Literally 2 seconds later, she's back out. It's like, I can't deal with those humans and everything. So yeah, that's my favourite character, and I'll go into incredible detail about her when I do her own video. But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Like I said, these videos, they aren't going to be long. They're just going to be like brief introductions to series and why I would recommend picking them up and checking them out for yourself. And even if you find the first volume too cliche, that's fine. This series is not for everyone. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece in any way. I just personally find it enjoyable to just see these characters, see how they interact and how they bounce off each other, and in the setting as well. And again, like I said, it just embraces its clichéness. So yeah, and like I said before, these videos, these Otaku introduction videos and the Sin Talk videos, they won't be as frequent as the Dr. Stone reviews, but I'll try and get them out as relatively frequent as possible. Maybe one every month. One or two every month. That's probably the way I'm actually going to go with these series. And also, as well, I'm going to do more series. Like I'm probably going to do a horror film video where I go through all my horror films, all my manga. I'm definitely going to do a manga collection and like an anime collection video. I'm going to do that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on these videos. So let me know what you think of let me know what you think of me actually doing videos like this where I introduce new series to you guys, not just anime and manga, but also series from the UK that I grew up with, that you guys probably don't know about but would probably feel like checking out. So let me know about that. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and this will be Lasher Luke signing off. Later, guys!